Hey there. Have you ever tried to pray and just frozen up? You feel this immense pressure to find the absolute perfect words, but all you've got is this jumble of thoughts and feelings. Well, in this explainer, we're going to take apart that pressure, piece by piece.
So let's just dive right in with a really direct question. Do your prayers need poetry? I mean, really, do they have to be these beautiful, flowing works of art to be heard? It's a question that I think gets right to the heart of a very common anxiety a lot of us feel.
And that anxiety, it really comes from something we can call the myth of perfect prayer. It's this unspoken idea that there's a right way to do it, some kind of gold standard that we all have to meet. This myth creates some very real pressure for perfect words, doesn't it? We start thinking we have to be super articulate, maybe even a little dramatic for our prayers to count. We start editing ourselves before we even begin, worrying that what we have to say just isn't good enough or isn't phrased quite right.
And this right here lays out the whole conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got the expectation we put on ourselves. You know, the perfect words, the poetry, the eloquence. But then you look at the other side and you see the actual invitation, honesty, presence, and just showing up. That gap between the two, that's where all the stress and anxiety comes from.
So let's talk more about that invitation, because we're about to totally flip the script here. We're shifting the focus away from performance and on to presence, because it turns out the real goal is just showing up.
And the source material for this explainer just puts it so directly. It says that today, and really any day, it isn't about getting the words exactly right. This isn't a speech contest or some kind of performance.
So here's the crucial point, the main event. It's about showing up. That's it. It's about making the time, turning your attention, and just being present, no matter what kind of state you're in. That simple act is the heart of the whole thing.
Okay, so this leads us to our next big idea, choosing honesty over poetry. If the main goal is just to show up, then what exactly are we supposed to bring with us when we get there?
We bring our honesty. And what does that even mean? Well, it's pretty simple. It's just presenting your true thoughts and feelings exactly as they are in that moment. No filter, no fancy additions, no trying to make them sound better or more spiritual than they actually are.
And this can be so simple. It's not about setting aside an hour to kneel on the floor. It's that little whispered thank you for your morning coffee. It's that gut-level plea for strength when you're stuck in rush hour traffic. Those are the real, honest moments that matter.
And that's really the bottom line here. Your prayers do not need to be poetic masterpieces. They just need to be honest. They just need to be authentically you, right there in that moment.
Which brings us to our final and maybe the most comforting point of all. Think of it as both an instruction and a permission slip, all rolled into one. Start where you are. Because here's the real truth, the one that cuts through all that anxiety we talked about. The messy prayers are heard too. The ones that are half-formed, the ones that get interrupted, the ones that are just a sigh or a single word, they all count. They all get through.
So, whether you're bringing your complete desperation in a moment of crisis or your quiet gratitude for some small, simple joy, the entire spectrum of your human experience is welcome. It's not one or the other. It can be both, sometimes in the very same day.
So, what's the call to action? It's this, right here. Start where you are, right now, with whatever you have. You don't need to wait until you feel more spiritual or more eloquent or more, put together. You start with the mess, you start with the joy, you start with the exhaustion.
And what happens when you do that, when you just show up exactly as you are with your honest thoughts? That's enough. It has always been enough. The invitation was never to be perfect. It was just to be present. And that's a thought really worth holding on to.